My youth pastor told me I was being dramatic when I showed him the video. Boys your age see things that aren't there, he said, while deleting it from my phone. 2 weeks later, FBI agents were searching his house. I was 16 when I noticed Coach Sullivan spending way too much time with younger boys at our church's Saturday basketball program. He was 40 with this friendly dad energy that made parents trust him instantly. My mom constantly praised his dedication, saying the church was lucky to have such a committed volunteer who gave up his Saturdays without asking for compensation. I helped with the program for college application volunteer hours, basically being Sullivan's assistant. Everything seemed normal at first, just standard basketball instruction. Then Sullivan started pulling specific kids aside for what he called specialized training sessions in the windowless equipment room at the back of the gymnasium. The room had concrete walls and a heavy metal door that locked automatically when it closed. Sessions lasted 15 to 30 minutes. He'd emerge sweaty and energized while the kid looked exhausted and quiet. Sullivan always chose smaller, quieter boys who seemed isolated from their peers. Kids dropped off without parents staying to watch. There was this 12-year-old named Aiden who got pulled aside almost every week, sometimes twice per session. Aiden was small for his age with nervous energy, and his dad dropped him off without ever coming inside. Another regular was Isaiah, who'd recently moved to our town and didn't have any friends yet. A third boy, Liam, had a learning disability that Sullivan used to justify separate coaching. I mentioned my observations to my mom one Saturday. I explained that Sullivan's private training approach seemed weird, especially since he always took kids into a locked room where nobody could see what was happening. My mom immediately got defensive, telling me that individualized instruction was best practice, and I should be grateful someone cared enough to provide that attention. The conversation ended with her suggesting I focus on being a better helper instead of inventing problems. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about Aiden's blank expression when he came out each week. The next Saturday, I positioned myself near the equipment room door during Sullivan's session with Isaiah. I couldn't hear distinct words through the heavy door, but tones sounded wrong. Long silences followed by Sullivan's voice getting lower and more intense. Then sounds that might have been crying quickly shushed. My stomach felt sick. When the door opened, Isaiah came out with his shirt untucked and shoelaces undone, walking straight to the bathroom. Sullivan followed, looking relaxed and satisfied. I started documenting everything on my phone. Over 3 weeks, I recorded that Aiden had 6 private sessions totaling almost 3 hours. Isaiah had 4 totaling 90 minutes. Liam had 3 totaling 75 minutes. During the 4th week, Sullivan started locking the equipment room from the inside during sessions. That Saturday, I waited until Sullivan took Aiden into the equipment room and locked the door. Then I quietly positioned my phone against the door crack. The audio quality was terrible, but I recorded about 4 minutes, including Sullivan saying, "This is our special training, and you can't tell anyone, or you'll get in trouble, and good boy, you're doing so well for me." When I heard them moving toward the door, I quickly backed away and pretended to be organizing basketballs. Aiden emerged, looking pale and shaky. After parents arrived for pickup, I approached Sullivan and told him I'd accidentally recorded audio from near the equipment room and heard some concerning things. His face went completely blank for a second, calculating. Then he smiled this friendly, concerned smile and asked if we could talk privately in his office. In his office, with the door closed, his demeanor shifted from friendly to serious. He asked to see my phone and hear what I'd recorded, so I pulled up the audio file and played it with my hand shaking because I was suddenly alone in a closed room with someone I suspected of abusing children. Sullivan listened with no expression, then reached over and took my phone from my hand before I could react. He deleted the audio file while I watched, his fingers moving quickly to also check my recently deleted folder and permanently erase it. He handed my phone back and explained in this calm voice that boys my age often see things that aren't there because we're at an age where everything seems suspicious, especially regarding male mentorship of younger boys. The way he said it made me feel like I was the problem, like my concerns were evidence of my own twisted thinking. He suggested I needed to mature and trust adult authority instead of inventing scandals. I left his office feeling exactly how he wanted me to feel. Crazy, ashamed, wrong. But that night, I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing Aiden's face, Isaiah's untucked shirt, Liam's quiet exhaustion, the way Sullivan's expression had changed for just 1 second before he smiled, that brief flash of panic before the mask came back. I knew what I'd heard through that door, and I knew Sullivan had just shown me exactly how far he'd go to protect himself. Full story on my channel and linked below.